This video is to help parents teach their children the parts of a sentence so that when your child is sitting at home and struggling with sentence writing, you have tools in your toolbox so you can correct them. Feel free to share it with your child as well. This is just the most basic information that you need about sentence building. Okay, let's get things started. There are two parts of a complete sentence. Every sentence needs two parts, a subject and a predicate. The subject tells us who or what the sentence is about. The predicate tells us what the subject does, is, or has. Now let's take a look at this sentence. It says, the dog barked. Well, we're looking for the who or the what this sentence is about. So we're going to ask our child, who barked? Well, the dog. So the dog is the subject of this sentence. Now I have another example. My sister reads every night. Who reads? My sister. So my sister is the subject of the sentence. If you would like to use the word noun for the subject, you may, because nouns are a person, place, thing, or object. Now, what if the subject has more words? Here we have this sentence, the big red ball rolled down the hill. Well, the simple subject would just be ball. That's our noun. The complete subject would be all the words describing it, the big red ball. But the important part is to get kids to recognize the subject of the sentence. All sentences need a subject and a predicate to be complete sentences. Now, the other part of the sentence is the predicate. And that simply is, what did the subject do? We can ask these questions. What did the subject do? What is the subject doing? What is happening to the subject? Our sentence was, the dog barked. What did the dog do? Barked. Barked is the predicate of the sentence. Our sentence was, my sister reads every night. What did my sister do? Reads every night. Reads every night is the predicate. Now, if you're looking for the simple predicate or the simple verb, it would be reads. The entire thing is reads every night. Now let's practice finding subjects and predicates. We have 3 sentences. I'll give you a second to read them and you try to identify where the subject and the predicates are. This would be a good time to pause the video. All right, our first sentence was, the puppy chased the ball. The who or what is the puppy. What did the puppy do? Chase the ball. So our subject is the puppy, our predicate is chase the ball. Now, if you want to get into just what is the noun and the verb, the noun is puppy and the verb is chased. All right, we're going to go on to the next sentence. My brother built a Lego tower. Who or what is my brother? What did my brother do? He built a Lego tower. There's our predicate. The birds are singing in the tree. The who or what? The birds. What are they doing? Are singing in the tree. How did you do? Now, what happens when your child writes something like this? This is what we call a fragment. We only have one part of the sentence, the little boy. Here we see the subject. This is where I would say to my child, I see the who or what, but I don't see what they're doing or did. Let's add to that. Could we write something like this? The little boy lost his toy. So the little boy is our subject, boy is our noun, and lost his toy. What did he do? He lost something. That's our predicate. Okay? So hopefully this is starting to make sense. Here's another fragment. Ran to get his toy. So if your child writes something like that, we're only seeing what was happening. We're missing the who or what. We could add something like, the little boy ran to get his toy. So you can see where the subject and the predicate are very important pieces to sentence writing. Now, you can try this out using this strategy. You can think the who, what as your subject or your noun, did what as your predicate or your verb. Have your child ask these questions. whether they are reading a sentence and trying to identify it or they're trying to write one. Who or what finds the subject or the noun. Did what, is what, or has what finds the predicate or the verb. Put them together, and does your sentence make sense? Now, something I think is really important, and sometimes many parents forget kind of the obvious things, is that punctuation is important because all sentences have capital letters and punctuation. The punctuation helps the reader understand your words. So we're going to be looking for them in your sentences. So a really simple strategy is just to teach these three. A period ends a statement. A question shows a question is being asked, and an exclamation mark shows excitement. Don't forget that we use capital letters at the beginning of our sentences to show proper nouns in our titles. Proper nouns, and we also use them in our titles. All right. I hope that this is giving you some background information to help you be prepared to help your child when they're trying to build sentences. Now, building sentences becomes very complex because we can start with simple sentences like I was showing you, and then we can go on to compound sentences and complex sentences. But I think the point for this one was simply just to get a simple sentence written and include the important elements. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If this has been helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share.